Hey. What's up, y'all? Welcome to Behind the Bars. This your boy Rich B719. I'm just up in here getting some Boss Bray going. We're gonna have Boss Bray up in here in a minute. Y'all make sure and peek this one out. This one's dope.
Watch out. Scream. My monsters under your bed. They creep in your head in the shadow where you sleep. Yeah, they want you dead. Sharp teeth in the dark. Hit the floorboards, crack, scream loud, but it's too late. They already attacked. They coming for you. They coming for you. Whispers in the night, what the shadows do. No safety, no light. Can't escape the doom. They coming for you. Ha, ha. They coming for you. Step inside a nightmare. Curtains fall slow. Blood red moon when the cold winds blow. Eyes in the closet, shadows on the wall. Demons in the alley when the street lights fall. Monsters march heavy with the chains that drag. Tombstones crack when the body bags sag. Voices in the wind whisper death in your ear. Catchy skulls ride, better pray they don't appear. I'm the figure in the mirror with a gangster's grin. Horror in my veins, let the darkness in. Claws scratch deep when the bass line drop. Gaffin lid slam when the heartbeat stop. Fear in your chest like a kick drum pound. Blood in the streets paint the whole block down. From the bed to the block, I'm the Reaper son. 16 bars and the mountains on your own bed. They creep in your head in the shadow where you sleep. Yeah, they want you dead. Sharp teeth in the dark. Hit the floorboards, crack, scream loud, but it's too late. They already attacked. They coming for you. They coming for you. Whispers in the night, what the shadows do. No safety, no light. Can't escape the doom. They coming for you. Ha, ha. They coming for you. Blood moon glow, let the hunt begin. Every scream from the crowd, it's the sweetest sin. Chain track slow on the graveyard stone. Welcome to the block where the dead still roam. House full of ghouls and the gangsters stare. Skeleton hands clips the midnight air. Jekyll in a grin with a blade in hand. Rip through the stage while the crowd still stands. Whispers in the mist make the children cry. Echoes through the alley where the lost souls lie. Street lights die when the monsters feed. This is hardcore rap with a gangster's creed. Echoes through the alley where the lost souls lie. Street lights die when the monsters feed. This is hardcore rap with a gangster's creed. Gun smoke mixed when the church bells ring. Bloodstained crown on the throne I bring. 16 bars of the shadows breath. This verse is alive, but it's under your bed. They creep in your head in the shadow where you sleep. Yeah, they want you dead. Short teeth in the dark. Hit the floorboards, crack, scream loud, but it's too late. They already attacked. They coming for you. They coming for you. Whispers in the night, what the shadows do. No safety, no light. Can't escape.
What's up, my brother?
They coming for you. They coming for you. Clock stop ticking when I step on.
There you go. There you go. Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's good with you, man?
Hey, man, you know, we just up in here bumping some of your music, letting everybody peep out what you got out here. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. You bumping that Monsters right now.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that Monsters is a dope one, dog.
Yeah, we're fixing to shoot that music video on next Sunday.
Oh, shit. Okay. Hell yeah, that's going to be a dope one for sure, for sure. Hell yeah, I'm going to go ahead and play a little bit more music. But like I said, y'all, welcome to Behind the Bars. This is your boy Rich B. We got my dog Boss Bray up in the building tonight. We're going to be doing this artist interview here in a little bit. But before we get started, I want to give a special shout out to our sponsors. Man, we went and picked up some of their drinks today. And, man, that's bomb shit. So y'all make sure and go hit up Sip Happens for sure. We ended up getting a watermelon agua fresca, and we ended up getting horchata, man. This horchata is bomb, too. So, yeah, y'all make sure and pull up. Hit up Sip Happens 719 because, yeah, you know, they showed us love on this one. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and play another track by my dog Boss Bray real quick, and then we're going to get this interview started. I'm going to bring you up, Boss Bray. I'm going to let everybody see you real quick. You know what I'm saying? Cool. There it is, my brother.
What's up?
So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and let this one play real quick.
I was raised in the flame. Seen the devil shook hands. Now I'm a boss and I need a whole city understands. Tapped in with the homie creep of the truth, not a gimmick. We killing shit together and the whole world is a witness. Chains heavy on the chest, the burden was more. Every demon that I fought, I left blood on the floor. Keep the heat up by my waist. If I up it, you taste. Bullets fly, silence cries, put respect on my name. Been through hell and back where the killers all blame. Bodies in the street, make the devil look away. Blood up on my hands, but my soul is intact. Turn pain into power, now I'm never looking back. Chrome to your dome, I don't speak, I react. Enemies disappear and get erased up off the map. I survived executions, I survived every trap. Every coffin that they build, I crawl out of it, I snap. Through hell and back, we ain't never grown full. Force in the fire, never giving up my soul.
Yep, this one's dope for sure. I like this one.
Where I came from, then you'd always be strapped. Been through hell and back, better act like you know. Big boss in the 7, now I'm riding with the bro. From the pit to the throne, yeah, the sickness attack. This is history in the making, we ain't never looking back. When I thought I was out, that's when they pulled me back in. I keep having my doubts, I'm fighting demons within. Keep a Glock on my belt in case they try to come in. Can't afford any help, I run away from my sins. Treat this shit like a sport, appreciate the support. We all live by these codes and probably die by the sword. Fuck with me and get torched, your whole life will get scorched. Stick they ass with a fork and then we popping the pork. Make a toast to the ones who really fuck with us.
Y'all make sure to keep tapping that screen, y'all. Show some love to us. We're going to be getting this artist interview started here in a minute. We got my dog boss Bray up in the building. You know, Bone Thugs and Harmony Records up in there. You know what I'm saying?
When I smoke in the rain, they shoot it out in their veins. Watch me walk through the flames and still not feel the pain. It's creeping through hell and back, we ain't never grown full. Force in the fire, never giving up my soul. Shootouts in the shadows, got the city on my back. If you came from where I came from, then you'd always be strapped. Been through hell and back, better act like you know. Big boss in the 7, now I'm riding with the bro. From the pit to the throne, yeah, the sickness intact. This is history in the making, we ain't never looking back. Sharp teeth in the dark, still a boss that you fear. Put my life on the line, every move crystal clear. Shootouts in the alleys, hurt all the bones snap. If you came from where I came from, you'd be riding with a shoe.
Yes, sir. Hey, that's some dope shit though, for sure, dog. That shit's so dope. Hey, hey, for sure. Hey, so how was it working with Creeper, man? Creeper's dope as fuck.
It was dope, man. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Homie.
Yep.
Yeah, he fucking. He's really chill, bro. You know what I mean? As long as you come correct with him, you know what I'm saying? And you're not on some bullshit, you know what I mean? He's gonna rock with whoever, but man, you know, it sucks because he gets a lot of hate.
Yeah, no, for sure. I get it, bro. I mean, you know, and Creeper's dope, dog. Like, I don't understand. Like, you know, he kills it, so shit. But yeah, like I said, we're going to get started with this artist interview. Again, we want to give a special shout out to our sponsor, Shit Happens. They came and brought us some drinks today. Look at these ones, dog. These are bomb.
Oh, that shit looks fine.
Hey, so this is I guess this is a watermelon agua fresca.
Okay.
And they throw chunks of watermelon in it with chamoy and tahini and all that. Man, it's just gas, dog.
They need to come up here to Colorado Springs.
Hey, bro, that's why I'm like, you know, hey, you guys sponsor me. We're gonna get you guys out there. You know what I'm saying? And then I ended up.
You can pull up to one of my events too and get down. You know what I mean?
Hey, and they're in the comments too. So hey, Sip Happens. You heard? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We up in here ready to do this. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I ended up picking up the horchata that they got. Man, it's what was it called? A Mazapan one. It's a Mazapan horchata. Man, this shit is bomb. So, yeah, shout out to Sip Happens for sure. So, yeah, man, all right, let's go ahead. Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get this artist interview started, man. Let's see. Let me see. Where could I start at? So, shit, bro, what was your first experience with hip-hop?
Man. You know, when I grew up as a kid, my dad, he worked in radio as a sound engineer and shit like that. So he brought me home a tape. Bro, this had to be like, it was probably like 91, 92, something like that.
Yep.
And the first tape that he brought me was Kid Frost, bro.
Oh, shit.
It was a Kid Frost fucking tape. You know what I mean?
Hey, you want to know something crazy? I think it's even still in my wallet. When I was like 12 years old, bro, I got a
Yeah.
fucking autograph from Kid Frost.
No shit.
It's signed on $1, dog. So
Hey,
there was a
that's a
car
lucky
show. I
dog.
want to say, yeah, there was a car show here at I want to say it was Pueblo Community College here in Pueblo, and they he pulled up and he was over there like he had just did a show here somewhere.
Okay.
And yeah, man, watch. Let me see. I know I have it in here somewhere. I just gotta find it. But yeah, I have it, dog. That shit was crazy as fuck. Now that you said that, like that's crazy, crazy.
Yeah, so I was listening to him first, and then obviously, like, it sort of progressed. I started listening to Cypress Hill, you know what I mean? Shit like that. And then growing up in South Texas, you know what I mean? We listened to nothing but Screw all the time.
Yo, hey, dog. In the end, too, like I said, I was a screwhead, bro. I was a screwhead coming up for sure.
I mean, I still jammed out to everything else. You know what I mean? Like, my go to music was like Bone Thugs and Harmony, Tupac, Brother Lynch Hung. You know what I mean?
So yeah, so those were all pretty much musical influences then, yeah.
Oh yeah, big influences. Yep.
So I ended up finding it. Look, watch. I'm gonna bring you down and I'm gonna bring me up real quick.
Yeah.
So look. If you can see it, I don't know if you can see it. Oh, look right there, the Kid Frost dollar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You still got it, but you gotta put that in a frame in your office, dog.
Hey, and you want to know something crazy too? Was at that time, dog. My dad was still alive. You know what I'm saying? My dad was a big Kid Frost fan.
Yeah.
So I ended up coming across Kid Frost and got an autograph on that dollar, and then he ended up signing a hat for my dad. So that was what was dope about that shit for sure.
I mean, have you seen him since then?
Shit, no, man. Actually, you know what? I'm trying to remember if I did. I don't think I did. No.
Oh, bro, we gonna have to make that happen.
Hey, bro, that shit would be crazy because something. I think even my brother might have that picture still because we even took a picture with him. So
Yeah. Well, I got you. If he comes out this way, you already know. I'm gonna fucking be like, hey, come on, Rich, let's go.
Oh, for sure. Hey, look,
get the backside tied down.
For sure. Hey, motherfucking, shout out to my dog K Suno. K Suno's up in here in the comments.
What up, big dog? What's up, my bro?
Hey, he's trying. I guess he's trying to jump on the live, but hey, K Suno, if you want to jump in, dog,
jump in.
I'm gonna have to. You gonna have to just hit me, dog. I'm trying to find out, brother. See if there's a way I can invite you in here.
What's up? What's up? ICMG, baby.
Yep, ICMG up in the building.
My boy Justin up in the building, all the way out from Florida. What's up, my dog?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my partners right there.
Yep, for sure. Hell yeah. And then my dog, Lil R. What's up, Lil R? Hope you're doing good, dog. Yeah, I seen your interview today. That shit was dope. So, shit, all right. So, what city did you grow up in?
Well, I grew up in San Antonio predominantly, but I went back and forth from Houston to San Antonio a lot. You know what I mean? And but the majority of my time, you know what I mean, I spent it. I would go like summers and stuff like that. You know what I mean? To Houston, spend with my grandparents and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But for the rest of the year, I was usually in San Antonio.
Hell yeah. Okay. So
that Deuce Dime,
Yeah, no, for sure. Shout out to Screwstone for sure.
Yeah. Have you been to San Antonio before?
No, actually, but you know what? I got family that's out in Amarillo and family in Lubbock. So I mean, I've been out to Amarillo before, and Amarillo's dope. So
San Antonio is wild, bro. You could pick any day. It don't matter what day it is. There's always something to do. It is such a big city. I mean, not as big as Houston. Houston, it's like cities within cities. Depending on which highway you're by. You know what I'm saying? So, but San Antonio, man, it probably takes, here in the Springs, I think you can get from one side. I live out towards Black Forest, but I could get to the south side in probably 30 minutes. Yeah. If it was that way, if it was that way in San Antonio, bro, you're taking an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes to get to the south side.
Yeah, for real though. Yep, for real though. So shit. All right. So we already did your musical influences. So let's see. So how does growing up out there in San Antonio and then bouncing around the way you did, you know what I mean? How does that influence your music?
Well, for me, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, me and my family, we didn't live in the best places, you know what I'm saying? So, growing up like that, you know what I mean? It's sort of just in the streets, you know what I'm saying? So, you're going to get some of that influence directly from the street, you know what I mean? Like, and it's sort of unavoidable, right? Like, product of your environment type shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah,
And
no, that makes total sense, yo.
you're gonna make friends with the people that you're around, you know what I'm saying? And you know, when I started rapping, that's when I started rapping. I was about 14. That was like 96, you know what I mean? And to be honest, bro, I was locked up in Houston, and
Oh,
it was
damn.
like it was like a juvenile lockdown facility in Riverside, right? And
Yeah.
fucking and so there was no like barbed wire fence or nothing. But if you bounce out of there, they give you an escape charge. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. No, that makes
That's
sense. Yeah.
that's what kept you there, right? But
Yeah.
anyways, my celly would always freestyle with people and shit. And because we was in Houston, that's just what everybody did. They would just freestyle. So all of the kids that were in there at that time, bro, they would all just huddle. We didn't have shit to do. You know what I'm saying? So we just freestyle battle against each other, and so I was bored as fuck. You know what I mean? So I'm telling my
Mm-hmm.
fucking celly, I'm like, bro, teach me how to fucking freestyle. You know what I mean? And so he started teaching me a couple things and just getting in there and then starting to freestyle. And I mean, if you know about jail, bro, you can't go in there and be weak. You know what I'm saying? So you got to come with something. You know what I mean? And so I just sort of went hard in there, and I felt like I had like challenges from the people in there that sort of
Yep.
helped enhance my flow. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. No, that makes total sense, dog. So shit. Um, Let me see. I'm gonna try to get into some other questions. So shit. So what's the story behind your name?
For Boss Bray, it
Yes, sir.
actually was Brazy growing up, right? All my homeboys call me Brazy. Spell it Brayzie, right? My last name's Bray. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I think people started calling me Boss Bray. Man, I want to say it was like 2004, 2005. You know what I mean? Like I opened up my first barber shop. You know what I'm saying? I've been a barber for 29 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was also another thing. I don't got no diploma or degree or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So I always cut hair. And I ended up fucking opening up my own shop, and I opened it up in the projects. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
when that happened, it was just everybody would come in and be like, "What up, boss? What up, boss? What up, boss?" You know what I mean? And fucking I was the boss of the shop. You know what I'm saying? And I grew that shop, and I grew within the community, and everybody knew who I was over there, so it just sort of stuck. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
went from being called Brazy to just being called Boss Bray. You know what I mean? And then
Yep.
and then I sort of pushed that forward because I was still rapping. You know what I mean? At that time, I was heavily involved in rapping. Being a barbershop owner and shit like that. I was over here trying to push a little mixtape. You know what I mean? Do whatever I could. You know what I mean? And
Yeah. Hey.
my homeboy Young Vet, he was one of my clients, and he was a rapper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he had brought me like Charlie Boy and shit like that. You know what I mean? To cut up his son and stuff like that. So we got in pretty tight. And I was like, yo, listen to this flow. You know what I'm saying? And I just shot my shot. You know what I'm saying? And fucking, because I knew he was doing shows and shit. And so I was like, let me fucking see what's up. You know what I mean? Next thing I know, they was inviting me to shows. And then after that, I started going to shows with them and starting to perform with them, learn their lyrics. You know what I mean? Was doing
Yep.
their hype man shit. They'd give me like a song to do, that I could do like one or whatever, just so you know how it is, dog. You're just paying your dues. You know what I mean? And I think,
Yeah. Hey. I
I
know.
think,
I know what it's like paying them dues, bro. Because when I would pay my motherfucking dues, dog, I did shows for free almost every week, dog. Every week.
Yeah.
And I was, that was my way of coming up. And like a lot of people knew me down there in the valley. You know what I mean? Down here in
Yeah.
San Luis. So,
Yeah.
like, it's pretty cool out that way too. So, like, yeah, that's pretty dope though that you started from a barber shop. That's some dope shit.
Yeah, bro.
So,
I
like,
came far from that.
hey, I mean, shit, that's different hustle every minute, like they always say. You know what I'm saying? It's the best way to do it, bro.
I mean, how I started with just cutting hair was, bro, like I said, like my family didn't have a ton of money or nothing. You know what I mean? It cost money to go get a haircut. You know what I'm saying? And the little bit of money that I would get, I was going and I was getting just a regular shit. It was just a bald fade. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And bro, I'd get home, there'd be some hair sticking up and shit. You know what I'm saying? And you're in the hood, bro. You ain't trying to get clowned. You know what I mean? And so I'm fucking like, man, fuck this. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go across the street to Walmart. I bought some clippers for like $20 or some shit like that, and I just started cutting my own hair. And then before you knew it, all the homies was like, hey, bro, fade me up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, $5. You know what I'm saying? It's $5. You know what I mean? So their parents would still give them their little haircut money, but they would come over to my crib. I'd cut them up in the garage. We'd fucking throw in on a sack. I had a basketball fucking hoop. You know what I'm saying? We'd be able to shoot basketball, smoke weed, get haircuts in, listen to music. That's why I said, like, in one of these songs that I got coming out, it's basically like saying, we all sat around, you know what I mean, trying to figure out what Busy Bone was saying back then.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hey, what I thought was dope though is how they got that Hollywood Walk of Fame, dog. That shit was, oh man, congrats to them for sure. That shit was dope.
Big ups. That's legendary.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, man. And then I started doing the shows with them, and next thing I know, Lockdown Entertainment was asking me to sign with them. So I said, fuck it, let's do it. You know what I mean? And then that really solidified that name at that point. You know what I mean? Then it was me being a barber back then. You know what I mean? That was like, okay, stepping forward into the light. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be your stage. This is going to be your rap name. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, for sure. Hey, I'm going to go ahead and shout this out real quick. Y'all make sure and keep tapping the screen for my dog, Boss Bray. We up in the building right here, live on Behind the Bars Unfiltered. Man, we up in here. We sipping some Sip Happens 719. So y'all make sure to check them out too. And then shout out to my other sponsors as well, man. Shout out to Juanita's Burritos 719. They up out here doing burritos. They just opened up a restaurant. So shout out to them for sure. And then shout out to Denko. You know what I mean? Denko's our other sponsor. So, big ups to them for sure. But, hey, I'm going to go ahead and hit you with this one. So how would you describe what your sound is?
I'm very versatile, bro. I mean, I mix a lot of everything, to be honest, bro. So I would say, I mean, I don't even know if there's really a description for it. Like I just take my inspirations, man, the shit that I grew up in, and the songs that really meant something to me, that really touched me, and I incorporate all of those sounds into my music. So one day you might get horrorcore, you know what I'm saying? Another day, you might get a country song. I've done a country song like the one I did, Coming Home with Symes Carter. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yep, yeah.
Or you might get Breakthrough, you know what I mean? Because my dad also listened to Led Zeppelin and Molly Hatchet. I grew up on Stevie Ray Vaughan. You know what I mean? Shit like that. So putting that together and making a sort of like an 80s rock rap type track, you know what I'm saying? Just everywhere. Spiritual, bro. You know what I mean? I do my spiritual shit too.
Hey, and that's what I like. That's dope, dog. Is that you can tell that in your music, you're really like everywhere with it. So that is what's dope about you, bro. Like, yes, sir. Very versatile for sure. So then, would you rather perform or would you rather be in the studio?
I'd rather, to be honest, bro. You know what I mean? I spend so much time making music. Like studios is the home. You know what I'm saying? Like going to work. You know what I mean? And performing is like I get to be around everybody. I get to hopefully my music inspires somebody or touches somebody. You know what I mean? And then,
Yeah.
and on top of that, I get to be with all my homies, with all ICMG, you know what I mean? With Trillion, with Mr. Make It Happen, Mag Fofo, Chase Uno, you know what I'm saying? And we just, at that point, you know, like, we're just in there. It feels like we're like a super group, you know what I mean?
Hey, that's some dope shit. Like I said, y'all are really doing some real motherfucking good moves for the motherfucking state. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're blowing
So
up.
like that. That's what I love about this shit, bro. Is like Colorado is really starting to get recognized a lot now.
Yeah.
So you know, this is the best opportunity to start coming in here and even doing like interviews like this, or you know, dropping music. Period. Now, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, all right, let me hit you with a couple of other questions. Shit, we're gonna be getting deep up in these. So, like, you know, we're gonna be here for a good little minute with my dog boss Bray. So, y'all make sure and tune in.
I
Make sure
got
and
my
keep
drink.
tapping
I
that
got my
screen.
smoke. We're good, bro. I'm chilling, man.
Yes, sir. Hey, this is some dope shit though, for sure. Like I said, you know, I was telling Case Uno, I was like, dog, it's so fun having you know artists come up in here, and then like immediately after, like the artists that I've interviewed so far. Quite a few of them, bro. Like they come up in here now on TikTok Live, and they're starting to get a lot of views, a lot of followers now. So, like, you know, this TikTok Live shit's fun to do. Like, you know, and it's dope. This is all I really do it is like this. You know what I mean? I'll come up on here, or when it's time to perform, I'll be up on here ready to perform, letting everybody know I'm about to. You know what I'm saying? So, but
I mean,
all right. So then,
media, man, that's what it's good for us getting out there, you know.
yeah, and that's part of another question I was just about to ask you. So I mean, I guess that's out of the thing. I was going to say, how important is social media for an artist?
So man, I'll answer it the right way. Social media is extremely important for an artist. If you do not have a social media nowadays, it's going to be really hard for you to get a following. You know what I'm saying? And what every artist should be really looking at when they're going out and doing shows or whatever, or even if you're just a recording artist, right? You're not a performing artist, because let's get it straight. Those are two separate jobs. You know what I mean? A lot of people think that an artist just has to, if you are a recording artist, you know what I'm saying, that you have to go and perform those songs or whatever. The truth is, bro, I mean, we've all been here. If you're doing something even local, bro, you know what I'm saying? These promoters and shit don't want to pay you. They want you to pay them. So really think about it, because that, like I said, it's a loaded question. You know what I mean? Like, there are times where I will pull up for the right people. You know what I mean? But there are other times where I feel like, you know, you gotta, if you're willing to pay the DJ before he even fucking spins, right? You're willing to pay your bartenders before they pour a drink. You're willing to pay a doorman. You're willing to pay the security. You know what I'm saying? Now tell me,
it's not your performer. Yep.
It's not your performer, and tell me how you have a show without the performer.
Yeah, exactly.
So people will go and do these things because they feel like they need to be able to get the exposure, live exposure from people. But the truth is, the promoter, like, he'll come and tell you to sell those tickets. You know what I'm saying? Like, here's 25 tickets. You got to sell those tickets, right? But the truth of it is I'm not the promoter. I'm the performer, right? So you should be able to sell the tickets regardless. You shouldn't need my help. You shouldn't need a deposit. You know what I mean? You're part of your job, because I'm also a promoter. You know what I mean? And I've independently sold to my stadium event. I sold 2,700 tickets by myself. No street team, no nothing. You know what I mean? I sold 2,700. So I know it's possible as a promoter, if you're pushing it the right way, you're going to be able to get out there. It should be you as the promoter outside of that club at 2 a.m. handing out the flyers saying, hey, come to this event, come to this event, come to this event. You should have a street team. For me to come down to have to pay you to play in front of my own crowd that I brought. Mm-hmm. Come on, dog. That don't make sense.
Yeah, that's some straight bullshit.
Maybe if it's all your whole crowd, I didn't bring not one single person over here and pay for those tickets and do all that shit, then I should maybe have to pay you to go perform for your people, because what I'm gunning for is the core fan.
Yep.
You know, and if I align with your following, right, whether it be Chicano music, horrorcore, the strange music, the underground, you know what I mean? If I'm catering a specific set, I'm gonna go towards that crowd because I want to gain that crowd. You know what I mean?
Yep, no, I get that shit for sure. So shit, I mean, with your come up, another thing that's pretty dope is like I said, I love your fucking come up, dog. Like your come up was crazy. So
Quick.
have you through all the times, have you ever thought about quitting music?
I did quit music. I quit back in yeah, I quit, bro. It was crazy. Crazy story about it is, you know, I was young and I was getting in a lot of trouble. I was being shot at. I was shooting at people in and out of jail. And I had my first son already. Well, when my son, the attorneys and fucking, you know what I mean, the courts and shit like that just kept on telling me like they thought I was gonna die. You know what I mean? They were like, "You're getting shot at so much, you know, like you can't have this child around you. You need to sign over your full rights." You know what I mean? Like this, it's in your son's best interest. And I thought about it. It was the hardest decision I had ever made, right? And I'm thinking, I'm young, you know what I mean? Like I'm thinking I'm still gonna have a relationship with that child, you know what I mean? In some form or fashion, just for right now, he's gonna be safe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And no, it wasn't that. You know what I mean? And so I stopped rapping. Once I realized what I had done and I couldn't change it, everything I was rapping about was just really sappy and just fucking sad, dog. Like, nobody really wanted to listen to that shit.
Yeah,
you know
no, I
so
get it, bro. So shit.
So
what? Hey, I understand, bro. Like shit, you know, I did quit too at one point, bro. Like, because there's this song that I did that it'll be coming on my album that I'll be dropping later on this year. It's I pretty much was saying like, you know, I quit rapping because, you know, I turned to the streets, dog. Like in the end, I turned to the streets, started fucking around, fucking up. You know what I mean? So in the end, the thing about it is getting back to the streets. I had to fucking make that motherfucking move to be like, you know what, I can't do this shit no more. Like, and to top it off, like, you know, I had to make a deal with my kids with this shit. So in the end, when I first started doing my music again, I told my kids, I was like, hey, if you guys, I used to tell them like, hey, I was dope at this shit. Like, your dad could kill this shit. Yeah, you know what I mean? And they, no, you can't. I've never seen it. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna show y'all. You know what I mean? So I ended up showing them, and now that they see how the moves I'm making, they're like, damn, Dad, you're really doing it. I'm like, I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
That's the thing, bro. Like when I came back into making music was about a little over a year ago.
Yeah.
Know? And it's funny. You want to know the crazy part about that whole situation? Maybe this might help somebody that's going through a similar situation that's watching or something like that. But all those years later, bro, I fucking found my son. He was 21 years old. You know what I'm saying? He's 22 now. We've been talking for a little bit over a year. You know what I mean? And they had changed his name. You know what I mean? All sorts of shit. I thought I was never gonna find him. And my brother found a picture of him on Instagram, and guess where he was standing? On top of Pikes Peak.
Damn,
I was like, what? Hold on a second. My son is here in Colorado Springs? What? You know what I mean? No fucking way, right? So he was just here visiting, you know what I mean? And I missed him by a week, bro. 1 week. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
Even though I missed him, I'm grateful for the fact that we are reconnected. He didn't blame me for anything. I thought for the longest time he was just gonna blame me. He was like, no, I understood what was going on. Even when I was locked up, I drew this fucking picture, right? And it was like all the Disney characters, and it was like, I love you, son, like in Old English, whatever. And I folded it a certain way and fucking put it in the envelope, right? And I sent it to him. Bro, that fool pulled that out of his closet, and it was in the damn near the same condition when I sent it. And that told me right there. And he's like, yeah, I can only leave it in my closet. My mom would only let me have it out in my closet. So I hung it on the wall, and I would look at that, and the one picture I had of me and you know what I mean? And I was like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Like that showed me right there, like even all them 15 years that I was gone, or that we were separated from each other, that every day he would think of me just like I was thinking of him every day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when that happened, dog, my music came back. It came back, bro. You know what I mean? And I was like, all right, let's go try this now. You know what I mean? And obviously you can tell it came back in a better fucking way. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, yeah. And in the end, dog, like, you know what I mean? Making them moves, that's the best way to do it, man. Like, you know, I appreciate that shit. That's one thing I could say for sure is telling that story right there too. That's some crazy stuff, bro. Like, you know, you never know. You never know how small this world is. You know what I'm saying? Because this world is fucking small as fuck, bro.
And I got 5 kids, so it's you know what I mean? Like I'm big in my family, you know what I'm saying? Like I do everything I do is for my family. So when I didn't have that one, man.
Yeah. No, I get it. So, hey, I'm going to go ahead and let everybody know, everybody in the comments, y'all make sure and tap the screen. Make sure and show some love. Keep tapping that screen because, I mean, you know, what could end up happening, I guess, is this live could end up fucking up on us. So, yeah, y'all tap that screen for me, yo. Make sure we up in here because we up in here behind the bars Unfiltered. We got my dog, Bray, Boss Bray up in this motherfucker. So, hey, I'm going to go ahead and hit you with another one. So, shit, who believed in you with this music when nobody else did?
It's very hard, man. I mean, I'll say, damn. It was hard, bro. It was hard. Nobody really believed in me. You know what I mean? Nobody really believed in me. I mean, I got my boys, ICMG, they believe in me. But when I first came back into it, before I met everybody, you know what I'm saying? And everybody became ICMG. And I was just thinking about it, right? Like, I was like, how do I do this? You know what I mean? So I threw that stadium event. And I knew, because I've always flowed, you know what I mean? I've always freestyled, whether it just be by myself, whatever, during that time. I just stopped doing it publicly, right? So I knew, like, when I came into it, I threw the stadium event, the Colorado Summer Lolo Black Party at UC Health Park, right? With Brown Boy, Big Gemini, you know, Melissa Lujan, you know, and then I took, it was about 17 to 20 rappers from Pueblo, Colorado Springs, and Denver, you know what I mean, to perform for free. Didn't ask them to sell tickets, no nothing. I was like, it's a stadium event, bro. I put every one of my artists up in the sky boxes, you know what I'm saying? Bottle service, the whole 9, limos, you name it, you know what I mean? I went hard for it for the state, you know what I mean? And then, you know, not everybody can afford to go to a concert. So I threw a lowrider show in the parking lot, a free lowrider show. And I had about 66 vendors. I had about 15 food trucks. I had 18 corporate sponsors. You know what I mean? And then I had performances in the fucking parking lot for everybody as well. You know what I mean? So they still got a show. There was I think almost every car club pulled up. I think we had like 77 lowriders. I think I was the first person to ever let lowriders go onto the field and hop the lowriders. You know what I mean? It was
yeah.
Doing something like that there was always that reason behind it, and it was for me to be able to not have to kick down no door. I just wanted the door to open. So if I was able to go and I showed the whole city, this is me, bro. You know, I went there. I did this shit by myself. Every one of those car clubs, homie, I had to go to their spots. Because like where I'm from in San Antonio, if you want respect, you show the respect. You know what I'm saying? You go there actively, face to face. You know what I mean? Yep. Don't matter which hood it is. If you got that go ahead, you know what I mean, from their people, you know what I'm saying? You pull up, man, and you show up. And it was crazy because it was actually it was me and my boy X. And we went to all these spots. You know what I mean? And everybody showed mad love, bro. You know what I mean? And when I got done doing all that and I walked through the door into the rap world, I was already up here. You see what I'm saying? Like I came in at a high spot because ain't no other rapper has ever, not from my knowledge, and I've been here for 17 years. I ain't seen not one rapper ever rent out a stadium by themselves. Not one.
Yeah.
And if you know one, I mean, tell me. And I don't mean like you went and did a stadium performance. I mean like you can show the receipt that you rented the stadium, that you did it all. All the money came out your pocket. You know what I'm saying? And did it yourself. And then come back and say, because there's a big difference. You got a lot of people, I put on for my city. I put on for my city. But really what you're doing is you're showing up, you're doing a performance. You know what I mean? Showing your face.
Yep.
You know, you're
Yep.
helping.
Yes, sir.
The city, but you're not the one that actually is actively doing it. There's somebody behind it. So, and that's the name of the game. But going in there, I was able to come up here. You know what I mean? Instead of being that new guy on the board. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. No, that makes sense. So shit. Let's see. So what's one thing that you would change about this music industry?
Gatekeeping. I would change the gatekeeping. I think that there's a lot of people that believe that they're gatekeepers, so they, on a local level, they'll bully you out of a show, or they'll neglect you out of a show. You know what I'm saying? Just because of who you are or who you fuck with. You know what I'm saying? And the truth is that you can everybody that hates them, you know, the gatekeepers and shit, you can actually sidestep them real easy. It's real easy to find a fake gatekeeper. You know what I'm saying? And really the easiest way to do it is stop fucking doing shows here.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, one, it's beneficial in two ways, because you go to other states, one, you get treated like the star, you know what I mean? You're going to get mad love from people that you don't even know. They're going to be your supporters. Like, the people locally, they'll support you. You see what I'm saying? But, and if you're a business owner of any kind, I know you'll feel this, but the local, it'll be the strangers that come and want to do work with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, your own
and every time.
Your own homies ain't coming to get a haircut, you know, and paying you. You know what I'm saying? Like, they want the hook. And that's love.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you on the real, bro. Each so you know how I had these lighters, right? I don't know if you can see it or not. We see how it's probably coming up, but yeah, you see the lighters.
Yep.
Every single one of my homies that wanted one, they were like, "You gonna hook me up with one?" I'm like, "Dog." Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, what's the point? Like, so shit. So
I still hook up my homies. You know what I mean? But
hey.
But at the same time, a lot.
Especially
all the time. Come on, man.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's motherfuckers that you knew from back then that are like, you know, oh, I had faith in you. I knew you was gonna do it. Like, bro, come on. You know what I mean? So
like I said, the homies that are on there right now, I mean, they knew, they supported me all the way. You know what I'm saying? But it was really hard for the supporters at the front end, because one, they didn't know that I was rapping back then. So like I had a very successful barbershop. You know what I mean? I was making about $250,000 a year. You know what I mean? Just cutting hair. So I was always busy. I was busy as fuck. So I knew a lot of people, you know, over the time that I've lived here. And so when I started telling them I was rapping and shit, you know, like, they're like, what? The fuck you mean? You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna stop cutting hair to rap, bro? Come on, dog. High hopes, bro. Look how old you are. You know, and I'm just like, nah, you'll see. You know what I mean? I didn't let it bother me at all.
And you balancing that shit both out perfectly. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up for sure. Like,
and that's not even those aren't even my only businesses. Running the label, right? Being an artist. I own Medusa Beard Oil company as well. I'm a barber. I do event services. You know what I'm saying? I've done everything from, like I said, stadiums, bars, clubs, private parties, weddings, dog. I've put together weddings. You know, I was just a event promoter. You know what I'm saying? And putting things together. So, and I also tattoo. Like, I got my studio. That's where I'm in right now. You know what I mean?
Okay. Hell yeah.
So I also tattoo. You know what I mean? And so, you know, I got my hands all over the place. You know, but they didn't it's crazy, because you saw all these other things work for me, but why wouldn't you think that rapping would work for me?
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, everybody would always be like, oh, you know, who says you're going to do this? You know, it's not going to be easy and blah, 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 blah. But in the end, bro, like, to me, I feel like this shit's cake work. You know what I'm saying? You see how I come at this shit. Like, you should have seen how surprised Danny Drake's was, which, you know, tonight we dropped his episode on YouTube, so his episode's on YouTube now. But yeah, so I ended up telling his ass though, like, I was like, dog, I'm ready to get to the studio. When I got to the studio, we recorded, bro, and I did like 6 songs in like an hour.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? Just getting
work,
to it,
bro.
You know?
That's
it's work. You know, and that's how I look at it. It's work every day. It's work. There's not a day that goes by over this last 365 days. Actually, it's been about 14, 15 months, right, since I started this, and every single day, dog, has been work. You know what I mean? I've not taken a break from it. Every day I go to work, I'll do that. I'll spend my time from 7, 8 o'clock at night until probably 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I get about 3 to 4 hours of sleep every night. You know what I mean? And it's been that way, you know, and that's what it takes, bro. It takes that kind of grind. It takes for you. You can't quit your day job while you're chasing your dream, but one day that dream is going to afford you the chance to say, I don't want to do this no more, or I want to go harder now that I got more money. You know, it's the same way like I would tell any of my homies, like, you know, anybody that wouldn't want to see me succeed, right? I would tell them straight up, bro, if you see what I do now for my city, if you see what I do now for my people, couldn't you imagine how much more I could do for everybody if you pushed me to the top and I was making millions? Because ain't everybody built like me. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's going to go do free events, do a haircuts for heroes and spend 10 grand. Go do cuts for smiles, go spend another 10. Open up a haunted house for 1,200 kids to go through on Halloween. Feed 675 families during Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not everybody's going to do that. And if they do it, they want the clout and shit. You know what I mean? But so if I can do those things now and I'm taking the shirt off my back to do them, imagine what I would be able to do for this community if I was making millions of dollars. And all it takes is for everybody to be able to elevate that one. And you can't.
Fuck. I agree with you so much, dog. I agree the fuck with you. I understand that shit completely, my brother. For sure. That shit's dope, though. Like, I get that shit. Because, like, in the end, that's everybody's mission in life. You know what I mean? Everybody's mission is that. You know what I'm saying? We all trying to hit that $1 million spot, even if it is $1 million. You know what I'm saying?
I only want it because I want to be able to help more. Like, yeah, I want my family to have what they want. You know what I'm saying? And all that. But, you know, I think that your life is defined by what you did in it, not about what you have, right?
Yep.
So when I pass away, I want to be known. If they ever put my face up on a wall or something like that, a mural or something, I want it to be there for the right reason. Not that I was a dope rapper, but what I actually did to help people, to give back to people, you know what I mean? And to help things thrive, because that's making a change. You know what I'm saying? There's so many dope, talented, badass rappers, better than me. You know what I mean? Better than everybody, right? You know what I mean? But go back and look at the ones that were the most impactful.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? They were all about their community.
Yep. Yeah. And in the end, that's what it was always about, bro. Like, you know what I mean? In the end, it was always about being there for your community, for your family, your kids, you know what I mean? Your cousins, you know what I mean? Like, in the end, like, one thing I really wish would have happened, dog, like, coming up when I started doing my music back then, like, you know, I had my family and all that, like, me and my cousins were close together. Like, my cousins were always with me at every show, you know what I mean? My cousin and my brother-in-law, and like we were doing shows every night, like, you know what I mean? But in the end, it started getting to where streets got a hold of them, streets got the better of them, you know what I'm saying? So in the end, that's what it was. And, like, you know, shout out to my brother-in-law too, because, you know, he's doing pretty good for himself right now. So, you know, because me and him were the Steel City boys, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm like, on the real, like, proud of what their moves are doing right now. So right now he's starting, like, his own little business right now. So I've been trying to talk to him. I've been telling him, like, hey, as soon as you get it going, let me know and we'll throw it on there. You know what I'm saying? Because I was so appreciative when these sponsors came up, especially for your show, bro. Like, I was like, I have to get these sponsors ready for Bray's episode, because I know this episode is going to be a dope one for sure.
Bro, I love doing that. I love doing interviews, man. I think it's a great form for people to get to know everybody, you know what I mean? And I'm grateful for it. You know, I'm grateful for you, Rich, for sharing your platform with me. You know what I mean? That's dope. You know what I mean? That lets me reach even some of your fans, you know what I mean? And Like I said, bro, likewise, if I'm doing shows, homie, you want to come do a live one, you know, bro, like, come with it. Let's do it.
Hey, you know, and you see, you heard my music, like, you know, I go in, dog, like, I ain't fucking with this shit. Like, you know, with K Suno was sitting here hitting me up, like, hey, I got this track we finna be doing on this, and Bray said he might want to get on it. I was like, let's do it. Let's do it. We can fuck with that shit. So, hey, we're going to be having some heat coming for show here pretty quick. Like, I'm going to put that on everything with the way I got this shit going.
Yeah, I'm down. Let me know.
Hey.
Y'all send me the boot or send me the beat, and I'm about to put some fucking belt to ass on that motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Hey, that's exactly what I said. I was like, all right, we about to outdo each other in every way we could. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta do it though. Like anytime I try to get on anybody else's shit. You know what I mean? I try to outdo them on their own shit because
always
you got to, right? Like
always.
If you're gonna have a feature, homie, wouldn't you want? If you had the choice, I ask you, if you had the choice of a feature that did better than you, would you want a better feature or a worse feature?
Man, you know, I get that. That's like, you know, better feature for sure.
You want
better
that,
feature,
right? Like that's a no-brainer, right? Like kill me on my own shit, bro. You know what I mean? I'm gonna still go hard, but I want you to go harder.
Yeah, that's exactly, and that, like, in the end, that's kind of the way I try to come at, you know what I mean? Every single feature I've ever done, like, you know, the feature I did with my homie G Styles, which shout out to my dog G Styles. I don't know if you've got to hear him yet, but G Styles is pretty cool. That's my dog. I did a track with him. It's called Marijuana, and you know, I told Lowlife, I was like, I feel kind of bad. I'm gonna have to outdo G Styles. Like, I'm gonna have to. Yeah. So, like, you know, but in the end, that song evened out. It came out fucking dope the way it came out. So, like, watch, if you ever get a chance to look it up, just look up G Styles featuring Rich B, Marijuana, and we even got a little Cheech. You know, from Cheech and Chong, we got a little Cheech little snippet in there that's pretty dope. It came out pretty dope.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm going to check that for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So, all right. So, I'm going to get back into some questions there, my brother. So, let's see. So, what do you want your legacy to be when you're done with this music?
If I were to create a legacy, it'd be that all of our, you know, everybody that's involved with ICMG, that there's something to give on to our kids, you know what I mean? To where they don't have to just come up into the world, bro, and fucking go through these hardships and try to figure out how to get there, you know what I mean? Like, I think that it's our job, like, if we're gonna put our position in, you know, put ourselves in the position to be rap artists, rap stars, hang around legends, you know what I mean? Be signed, you know what I mean? Do all that stuff. Then you got to sort of let them see the blueprint as it's unfolding, so that way they can follow in that path, and you already make the mistakes, so they don't have to. Yeah, you know what I mean? Somebody got to carry the torch. You know what I'm saying? And you know, most of the rappers that I know got kids that rap. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Or they sing, or they do something, right? So, I mean, I've told people this since day one too. ICMG isn't just about rappers. You know what I mean? Like, look, we're taking on country artists, rock stars. You know what I mean? The whole nine. If you're a writer, I want you. If you're, you know, in a publishing company, I want you. If you're a vlogger, I want you. If you do classical music and you know how to play instruments, dog, I want you. There's a place for every aspect of this music. And like, for me, I feel like I'm just sort of this, what's that motherfucker that be standing in front of the orchestra? Fucking burp, burp, burp. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Like, I know what you get. Like a lead director or some shit like that. Yeah.
Some shit, but he's fucking waving that stick, and I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna put you over here. You're gonna make this kind of music. You're gonna make this. Hey, K Suno, get over here, man. Hit that with that beat, bro. Get that beat just like it needs to go.
Yeah.
Watch, I'll make
K Suno, you better get up in there and start hitting them trumpets, my dog, for sure. Yeah. So, all right. So, hey, how do you balance music in your family?
Oh man, it's very difficult. I do, like I said, my wife, she wakes up super early. My wife and my daughter, so they'll start their day off early. You know what I mean? Like I said, I get about 3 to 4 hours of sleep, so I usually get up around 8:30, 9 o'clock, right? And that's when they're leaving to go to work. My daughter will say bye to me and stuff. You know what I mean? And then I meet them at work. But after we're done, they come home, bro, and we'll eat dinner and stuff, and we work together. So I'm with my daughter and my wife all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we get home, we have dinner, and we spend some time together, watch some movies, and they usually go to bed early. So it really leaves my night wide open to be able to get to my work. You know what I mean? And I just focus on it at that time. And right now I need to probably spend a little bit more time with my wife. You know what I mean? Because she just got a couple of days ago. They told her that they found a mass in her throat.
Oh damn, dog. I'm sorry to hear about that, my brother.
Size of a lemon, and so we're sort of navigating. Today we were able to get the insurance. That's a good thing. So there's a high success rate on that and stuff like that. So I am gonna here soon. You know what I mean? Be spending a little bit more time away from the music, which it sucks. You know what I mean? Because you have to. I feel like in this industry you have to be on top of it. Constant.
Yeah.
And that's not saying I'm disappearing or nothing. I just won't be as social. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be able to make every single show. You know what I mean?
So shit, bro, with that as much music as you have out, dog, you ain't got shit to worry about, my brother, for sure.
I think this last year I released 24 tracks.
Damn, that's good work. That's good work.
Yeah, that was two every month. You know what I mean? And that's so I could stay relevant, and you know what I mean, and then really push it out, because I felt like coming back at that level, like I said, I'm coming in at the top, of the game. You know what I mean? With all the best rappers that were here, so I was like, I gotta come hard. You know what I mean? So I just started spitting them out, and you know what I mean? And like I said, it was quality work, you know what I mean? But as this keeps on going, you got to remember too, a year ago when I first jumped back in, I had this, just like you probably know, you got to find your voice again. You know what I mean? You got to find your style again. You got to find your cadence. You got to find what's working. You got to work on that shit. I mean, you're talking 15 years that I didn't do it. You know what I mean? And I was doing it like that before, and now come back. Now I got to be even better. It's a harder game now. I ain't selling CDs out of a barbershop. I got to fucking compete with streams and you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get that shit for sure. Cause I mean, and that's one good thing. In the end, that's what, like I said earlier, that's what everybody's pushing for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So shit, with the success that you've gotten so far, how has your success affected any other of your friendships, from back then, from now, recently? You know what I mean?
Man, I think that it may have affected some friendships. You know what I mean? More on the business side of things. You know what I mean? But I mean, if we're gonna be 100, bro, I didn't open up a label to be friends with everybody. You see what I'm saying? And I didn't open up a barber shop to be friends with every barber. You know what I mean? If I consider you my family, you know that you're my family. I ain't even got to say nothing. You know what I mean? We gonna rock together regardless. You know what I mean? And I've had business partners go left on me. You know what I mean? I've went left on business partners. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it's I'm very business minded, man, when it comes down to the shit. And let's just be honest, I've seen friends come and go just like everybody else. So I don't really say I got best friends or anything like that. If I got you, if you're family, I mean, that's an unspoken thing. You know what I mean? We already up. It don't matter. We can argue, we can fight, we can do whatever, but it's still family at the end of the night. And that shit don't change. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that makes total sense, dog. Shit, for sure. So I'm gonna hit you with a couple fun questions real quick then. So do you got any funny stories being in your career, whether it be like in the studio or at a concert or anything like that?
Yeah, there's this one funny thing that happened. I was in Detroit and I was rapping for Bone Thugs and Harmony, you know what I mean? For it was at the Pipeline Network event, right? And fucking Flesh was there.
Yeah.
And I'm fucking rapping towards him, and I jump up off of the stage. And when I went back to jump back up on the stage, I miscalculated that shit, and I just kicked it with my shin, bro. And I rolled, bro.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what? How I did it, bro? I rolled right off the other side of the edge, and I didn't miss a fucking word, bro. You know, and then I just sort of walked it around, you know, came back up where the stairs were, you know what I mean? You know? But yeah, that shit's funny as fuck.
Yeah, no, in the end, you know, there's a lot of funny stories that I've had, like, you know, like one thing I could say is I was sitting there talking shit to my stepbrother, well, not my stepbrother, my fucking brother, I should say, because that's my motherfucking brother.
Yeah.
Me and my brother, we used to record, when we were younger, we used to record on tape players.
Yeah.
And dog, we were sitting there talking about it when I did his interview, and I was sitting there telling him, like, bro, remember when we were sitting there recording over fucking Cash Money beats and No Limit beats? And man, that shit was so fun back then. Like, thinking about it now, coming up the way I did, that shit was so fun doing that shit.
Yeah, bro.
So, hey, all right, so I'm going to hit you with this one. What's up?
I said, I remember them days, bro. You know what I mean? With Cash Money, No Limit. They was big inspirations, bro.
Hey, man. I remember when we came across, so what we used to do is we used to go to the motherfucking CD store, and we used to just go looking for beats, just browsing for fucking instrumentals, bro. And I used to tell them, let's just go take them, freestyle on them, and see what we do with them. You know what I'm saying? So I used to go in there and jump on that shit. Hold on real quick. My bad, fucking all kinds of noise started going on, all crazy. So anyway, I was sitting there saying, fuck, what was I saying? I got all blazed and forgot what I was talking about. Hey, no, this interview was dope, though. Like, honestly, this interview is dope. So, like I was saying, though, big ups to my motherfucking sponsors. Sips Happen, 719. Y'all make sure and check them out. Big ups to Danco. Shout out to my dogs, Danco. Y'all make sure and get your flour out there at Danco whenever y'all pull up. Get your flour, get your edibles, get your wax. You know what I mean? They do the damn thing out there. And then big ups to my peeps over at Juanita's Burrito 719. Man, this interview is getting dope. So, man, I'm going to hit you with this one then. So, is hip hop better today to you or in the 90s?
90s all day.
90s?
Yeah. You can't beat that, dog. Like, that was real gangster rap. You know what I'm saying? That shit back then, bro, if you rapped about that shit, you weren't, most of the time it wasn't cap. Like nowadays, bro, like we didn't have fucking cameras on every corner, at every gas station, everywhere you fucking went. CCTV and all that shit. We didn't have none of that. You know what I mean? So if you got into some shit back then, you know what I mean? Like you was really into shit. Nowadays, that people just I feel like they just rap about it. Like even if you are putting some work in, bro, you're getting caught.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Backtrack you all the way. You know what I'm saying, bro? This shit's smart as fuck now.
Yeah, no, and it's kind of crazy too because you know, like there was a moment in time in the hip hop era when it was just nothing but fucking like drug addicts rapping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that
whole wave of popping pills and shit like that, bro. I don't know. I can't do it.
Yeah, I could not do that shit either, bro, because that shit was ridiculous.
Salute to him. It's still. I'll say this. Like I'll still work with young artists that might have that because there is a call for it. You know what I mean? But if I'm gonna work with somebody that's doing sort of that mumble rap or whatever, you know what I mean? I want to be able to mold them. You know what I mean? And sort of create the best version of it as possible. And hopefully, as they get older, they start getting a little bit better and a little bit more poised with what they're saying and how they're coming across. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that makes total sense, my brother, for sure. Like I get that shit for sure. So what's more? What do you think? What do you think is more important, bars, beats, or the business?
Bars, beats, or business? Damn, that's a good question. I'm gonna say the business side of it. You know what I mean? I think that's the best part of it because that's the part that shows. Right?
Yep.
I mean, let's just
Yep.
be 100, bro. We're just talking about it. You got motherfuckers that can't fucking rap or anything, bro. Fucking, you know, they may call themselves the face of Colorado. Who knows? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, and in the end, who is this motherfucker? Like I said, you know,
You
in the
see
end,
what I'm
ain't no.
saying? You're just
Yeah.
like, okay, bro. I see.
Yeah. Hey, and you want to know something funny, fool? Is I kind of feel like some shit's popping off where he's trying to step on my toes and shit like that's happening, and it's like, bro, I wish you motherfucking would,
Hey.
you know, make it try. Like,
Each to their own, you know what I'm saying? Each to their own, you know what I mean? But don't call yourself a lyricist or anything like that, you know what I mean? And because you're really not, you know what I mean? And you know, like I said, but I was willing to work. I was willing to work with him, and I almost fucking helped him. You know what I mean? But he fucked himself off on my shit. So it is what
yeah,
it is.
hey, and in the end, like I said, you know, if you can write your own bars and come at me, like I hope you would. You know what I mean? Write your own shit and come at me, bro. Like write it.
Come hard, bro. I feel like if it's gonna be a diss, dog, like I want it, one, you probably don't want to diss me, bro, because I do a lot of research on shit, bro, and I make that shit very, very, very personal if it comes down to it. Now, I'm a fan of it. I think that's part of the culture, diss rapping people. You know what I mean? It's part of the culture. Every big name that you've ever seen that's come out of rap culture has had a beef and had a diss track. It is part of it. I don't care how you look at it. That's just part of the game, right? It's the rap game, right?
It is the motherfucking game, dog.
If you're gonna diss, because if I have to diss you, if you call me by name and I gotta diss you by name, oh, it's fucking on. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to hurt feelings. You know what I'm saying? I do have some boundaries with it. You know what I mean? With diss rap, I don't diss kids and I don't diss women. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna diss your wife. I'm gonna find everything about you. You know?
Yep. Yep. And in the end, when it comes down to that shit, like I said, you know, you ain't gonna sit here and claim something that you did not do.
Facts.
You know, you ain't the one that did it. There's legends out here that done it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, big ups to my homie Coogee, because you know Coogee was another one that was big out here. You know what I'm saying? There's like, you know, there was a lot like right now too, like with Creeper coming out, like bro, Creeper is making some fucking noise right now.
Bro, he's so underrated, dog. Like, you know what I mean? They just hate on my boy, bro, because he's got billions of views. You know what I'm saying? But bro, there is not one single rapper in Colorado that got more views than that dude. You know what I mean? Like we've had extensive conversation, you know what I'm saying, and talked about the music, talked about the success, talked about the royalties. I mean, if you're talking paid artist, Creeper's gonna be a paid artist. You know what I'm saying? And he's shown it over and over. I mean, he had the Super Bowl commercial. You know, why ain't they mentioning that? You know what I'm saying? They fucking he did some stuff with Disney. You know what I mean? This dude's still getting royalties off of that shit. You know what I mean?
That's dope. That's dope.
You can't count Creeper out of anything. Like, you know, they don't put him on no list or nothing, but it's because, like I said, your own people and your own shit won't fucking support you. But if you take Creeper somewhere else, look at all the features, look at all the people he rock with. They just ain't here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah. It's always the motherfuckers that are out of state, out of town. They ain't around. You know, they don't fuck around. You know what I mean? They're gone.
Yeah.
It's the people out here in this motherfucking, in our motherfucking state. There's never been support, it seems. But nowadays, like, you know,
a certain amount of support. I'll say that.
Yeah, okay, exactly. Yeah, and that I can agree with, because
it's a certain amount of support, right? It's not the support that you're getting when you get big is not the support, because I'll tell you straight up on fucking the first quarter of me coming back in, Everybody was up at that front cheering me on, being like, "You can do it," right? Bro, 6 months in, started seeing some of them dwindle back because they were like, "Yeah, he can actually do it," right? You know what I mean? Get a year back into this bitch, you know what I mean? And I see the same motherfuckers standing up against the wall with, rubbing their hands. Like, oh shit. That's a problem. You know what I mean? So now it becomes one of those things where, and nobody's going to say it. Let's just be 100. Nobody's going to come out and be like, yep, I don't like you because I think you're too good. Because I think that you can do better than me. You know what I mean? Or you can go further than me. And the truth is, man, any one of us can do it, whether you're a great rapper. I've seen great rappers fail at business. Great rapper, you could be the greatest rapper, but you suck at business. You couldn't talk your way into a fucking show if you wanted. You know what I mean? And so when that happens, you know what I'm saying? You got to go back and realize that in this industry, 90% of it is business, 10% is talent.
Yeah, that makes total sense, brother. Hey, I was gonna ask you too. Do you have like speakers up a little bit over there, or what? Because I can kind of hear myself echoing a little bit.
Yeah, I don't have no speakers. I just got you on my phone.
Oh, maybe that's where I'm hearing it from. So shit, I don't even know where the fuck else it could have been from. But all right, Eddie, let me go ahead and hit you with this one. So what's the best advice that you've received in this rap game?
Best advice I've received in the rap game. Actually, Lazy Bone came to me, and when we brought him out here, May 22nd, we brought him out here and did the after party in Colorado Springs. All of Bone Thugs and Harmony. Shout out, you know what I'm saying, to 719 Mag, Sosa Trillion. Those were my partners in there, James Baldrick, right? And we did an ICMG thing and fucking. So we brought him out, and I would sit there, and I had the time. You know what I mean? That's the same day that I got signed to Bone, and I sat there, and we're at the after party, and I asked him. I said, "Hey man, you're a legend." You know what I'm saying? And told him I was listening to him since this and that. You know what I mean? And I said, if you could give me any advice, you know what I'm saying, what would it be? You know what I'm saying? And he said, Godspeed, right? And he said, just keep putting your music out. He said, stay consistent. Don't give up. You know what I mean? Just keep on going. You know what I'm saying? And I said, bet, I'm doing that. He's like, I see you. Obviously, you're doing your thing. You got signed. You know what I mean? But he was like, he said, are you ready? Right? And I said, yeah, man, I'm ready, dog. You know what I'm saying? And he said, we'll see. We'll see. You know what I mean?
hey, that's crazy to hear that, because shout out to Bone, like I said, dog. Like that's just dope that they ended up getting that motherfucking Hollywood Walk of Fame today. You know, or what was it yesterday? Actually, wasn't it?
On the 8th. Yep.
Yep. So big ups to them, man. That shit was so dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's really some good advice to be hearing too. You know what I'm saying? Especially from a legend like that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you got to imagine they were doing their thing, you know what I mean, for over 30 years, you know what I mean? And it's probably a lot like that, for Bone, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's just keep on making music, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like the same dream that probably all of us have. Maybe I'm going to get that one, you know what I mean? All it takes is that one. And, I feel that way, you know what I'm saying? I feel that way for me and my music. All it's going to do is take that one, you know what I'm saying? That one is going to be it. And I got a good opportunity for it to be it. And because of the opportunity that I've been provided, I'm giving other opportunities to all my people, you know what I mean, to be able to sort of step in with it as well. It's hard because me being signed and some of my own guys not being signed, it makes it hard sometimes, you know what I mean, because I want to see them right there with contracts too, you know what I mean, but I don't get to write the contract. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And if it was up to me, all of my dudes, I couldn't be doing this shit without them. You know what I mean? We wouldn't be doing no shows and shit like that. I'd be up there single-handedly. And I got to give it up to them, to ICMG, period. You know what I mean? Like, those are my bros, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's that iron sharpens iron. So, but getting on like this, you know what I mean, and being able to do my stuff, I've only been in now, I think, like 2 months. You know what I mean? I got my first single coming out August 1st. You Ain't Never with Sleepy the Bandit and Mike Steele. It's going to be hard, right? It's going out. I'm releasing it. It's going to be worldwide, bro. global release. You know, my first global release, and I'm looking forward to it. But hopefully, you know what I'm saying, the whole world likes it, and then, you know, I get to pop a little bit more, because then at that point I can do more. You know what I mean? I can bring my people up even more. You know, so yeah, I may have gotten off topic there.
Hey, it's all right, bro. Hey, we've been sitting here smoking too, so like, you know what I'm saying. I got off topic earlier too, so you know what I'm saying. Shit, man. One thing I'm gonna say for sure is this was a motherfucking dope ass interview, dog. Like, I enjoyed this shit for sure. This shit was dope.
That's what I'm
So
talking
yeah.
about.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and play another one of your tracks real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and play that On the Run. I like that one too. That On the Run's pretty dope.
Yep, that's my spiritual shit.
Yes, sir. Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and play this one real quick, and then yeah, man, I'm gonna come back real quick. I'll be right back up in here, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and play this real quick. Like I said, this is Behind the Bars, Unfiltered. I'm gonna mute you for a minute real quick, bro, just so everybody can hear your music.
Yep.
Or shit, maybe if you could mute yourself real quick, you know what I mean? There should be a way you can mute yourself on there. Just so yeah, everybody can hear the track real quick, because I want to hear this one. This one is dope one, dog. Oh, there we go. Running through the pain with my brain on fire, trying to outthink fate, not a slave to desire. Every scar that I earned got a name and a choir, cause the demons sing loud when your faith gets higher. City lights flicker, I'm stuck in my past. Mirror shows the sentence that I learned to outlast. Smart with the grind, never move too fast. Gotta pray before I play, that's how the real ones last. Mind racing, city drumming to the sound. Adrenaline pumping while I'm running the town. Every chest move sharp, never dumbing it down. I'm the king with the crown, with the ghosts all around. I feel breath from above when I'm sliding through the night. It's the spirit in my lungs when I'm ready to fight. You can't kill what's chosen. I was born in the light, but I walk through this dark with the cross in my sight. I've been on the run, can't slow my feet. Battling my mind, but I won't retreat. God breathing in the air when I'm in these streets. Boss moves only, I was born to be elite. I've been ducking fake love like a red dot beam. Only loyalty left in the people I lead. Yeah, ICFG, that's the code, that's the creed. I'm playing real roots, y'all chase quick dreams. Thinking I'm lost, now I'm learning to adapt. With the Bible in my lap and a 9 in the back. Devil try to whisper, but I'm smart with the map. Turn the pain to a plan, that's a heavenly rap. Lost talk different, every breath got weight. Every move pre-planned, ain't no luck, just fate. Died in my mind, but I rose in grace. With the ghost in my chest, with the Lord in my face. No fear in a man, I've been broken, rebuilt. All the guilt washed clean, every tear that I spilled. From the mud to the gold, I'm the realest that's left. God breathing through these bars like he blessed each breath. I've been on the run, can't slow my feet. Battling my mind, but I won't retreat. God breathing in the air when I'm in these streets. Boss moves only, I was born to be elite. Every step that I take feel like running from pain. Trauma chasing the shadows, trying to poison my veins. Heart heavy like steel, I'm breaking them chains. Only peace I found came from whispering his name. Yeah, I hustle with wisdom, no crash in my dreams. Every storm that I face turned a wolf to a king. Ain't no freedom like the freedom when redemption sing. If you're looking for the truth, tell them listen to me breathe. Yahweh, 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 Yeah, dog, that one, I fucking, when I heard that one, bro, I was like, man, must have been real spiritual with that one. You know what I'm saying? Like, for sure, I get that shit. Cause yeah, dog, like, oh yeah, you're gonna have to unblock your mic now.
I got it.
Hey, but yeah, man, that shit, like I said, that shit was dope, dog. Like, when I heard that one too, it brought me back to. My bad, I accidentally muted my mic. So that, like I was saying, that brought me back to a track that I did. So I did a track just like that, that's gonna go on this album, which pretty much, like I was going through some shit at that time, and I had a lot of shit going on, and like all in the end, all I needed was God. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I ran to, bro. Like in the end, I turned to God, and like I said, God's the one that's pretty much guiding me through all this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm very thankful for all this. You know what I'm saying? God's guiding me through all of it. And it's just that's what I'm hella thankful for sure.
Hey, at the end of the day, you know what I mean? That's our maker, man. Everything we do is supposed to glorify him, you know what I mean? And that song, was my little, I pray to God every day, you know what I mean? Every single day. And,
Yes,
have
sir.
conversations. And I feel like this is what I'll tell you about my spiritual music. The spiritual side of that, like those type of songs, that's not Boss Bray and that's not Bray. That's me, Gerald Bray. You know what I mean? That comes from me, and it's more or less like a ballad that I'm making for God. Like I could care less if not one person listens to it. I didn't make it for anybody else. I made it that's a conversation between me and God. I just make sure that it's privy to everybody else. If you do want to listen to it, and it, like I hold my breath. You know what I mean? I had a crazy story about this. This person had called me or messaged me out of Montana, right? Never ever met her. This is right when I made Hold Your Breath, right? With Prophet, right? And
Yeah.
they heard that song. She or he, I think she was transsexual or whatever, you know what I mean? And was getting bullied a lot, you know what I mean? And messaged me, and she was going to commit suicide. And she listened to that song, Hold Your Breath. And she said, I bought her another day. You know what I mean? And so things like that mean something to me. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just about, making music to make the music. Like, if you can do something like this that can save somebody's life, I mean, and you got it in you to do it, then, man, do it. Because you don't know, your words, just simple words, could save somebody else. Your situation could save somebody else. Even if it's just for one day. You know what I mean?
Yep. No, that makes total sense, my brother. I totally agree with you on that for sure. So, man, like I said, this was Behind the Bars, episode 9, I believe we was on today. Shout out to my dog Boss Bray for pulling up today. Man, bro, this was a dope ass interview. Like I was telling Case, we're gonna have to link up for sure. All of us, we're gonna have to link up, do a show, something. Like, we're gonna have to get something going for sure.
We're definitely gonna do that.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, shit. Let's get something going, man. I'm all in. You know what I mean? Like right now, it's like I was telling the lady earlier. Like, we need to. I'm doing this shit for you guys. In the end, I'm trying to make things better for y'all because man, I got 7 mouths to feed, and that ain't even including my own. You know what I'm saying? So.
I know that story.
Yes, sir. So, but hell yeah, man. I'm going to go ahead and let you head out there, my brother. I appreciate you pulling up for sure.
All right,
I'm going to, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, I appreciate that, though, for sure. But yeah, man, like I said, this is Behind the Bars Unfiltered. We just did this artist interview, Dog Boss Bray. Man, this shit was dope. This was a dope ass interview for sure. So, I'm going to go ahead and give another big shout out to my sponsors. Shout out to Sip Happens. Y'all make sure and tap in with Sip Happens 719. Y'all make sure and tap in with my people over at Denko 922 East Kimball and Pueblo West, man. Y'all go ahead and pull up on them. And then Juanita's Burritos as well, man. Y'all pull up on Juanita's Burritos. It's right there on the corner of Thatcher and Pueblo Boulevard. So, man, this was one of the dopest interviews I had for a minute. Shout out to my dog Boss Bray. He pulled up too. He even came and dropped something that pretty much is unreleased. So I'm going to go ahead and end the show with this one. Y'all make sure and tap in with this one. He's going to be dropping this pretty quick here. So, man, like I said, this was a dope show. Y'all make sure and go tap in with my sponsors. They'll be right here on the motherfucking wall that y'all will see right here on the screen. Good looking out to everybody that pulled up today. Show some love. Appreciate y'all. I'm going to go ahead and end this live right here with this. Y'all peep this track for show. This is my dog Boss Bray. Y'all have a good night for show. This is Behind the Bars Unfiltered. Tap in.
love me back. I've been giving all I got, ain't no faking that. I feel so cold, I feel so cold. Baby, take my heart, baby, take me back. All the trust that I carry has been wearing on my back. I feel so, I feel so. Met you in the summer when the night got wild. Pretty little thing with the dangerous smile. Every second that I'm with you, worth the try. So I chase your love and run 1,000 miles. Wanna put you in the coupe, ride clean, no stress. Diamonds in your eyes, yeah, they shine no less. Got me speechless, girl, I must confess. You the queen of my world, no need to second guess. Heartbeat double time like the flow I'm on. Every second that I'm gone, feeling way too long. So I put it in a song, let the record play strong. Wanna hold you through the night where you truly belong. Take trips in the whip, let the skyline glow. Every kiss on your lips is a true sideshow. Every word that I spit got my heart on flow. If you love me back, girl, let the whole world know. If I hold your heart, can you love me back, back, back? Will you take my hand, you never look back, back? Would you stay with me through the highs and crack, back, back? Go crazy. Love me back, back. If I hold your heart, can